Hey guys, I wanted to continue the whole Love Fest series that I've been doing. Like I said, I have decided that I wanted to spend the holidays working on how to inhabit myself more, and that is very much staunched in loving myself. The more I think we love ourselves, the more we inhabit ourselves. I think the more that we love ourselves, the more we can love others authentically. The more we can see things more clearly, operate more in a healthy, empowered, and happy way in our lives. And that's the way we were intended to operate to begin with, and stuff. So, anyway, yeah, I feel like the more we learn to love ourselves, the more we recover. I feel like it's truly like part of the foundation of our one of the biggest pieces of the foundation of our moving forward with our lives and health and happiness, and you know pursuing the things that we really truly are designed to pursue, and be in the right relationships, things like that. So anyway, so this one I think is kind of a big topic, so I might break it into a couple a couple of videos. Um, but it's caring more about what you think about yourself than others think about you. That's big. It's huge for adult children of BPDs, specifically who have been untreated. Because we were taught that um, our how our mom thought about us really defined us. We were taught from such a young age that um, we were born to please our parents and to make them feel good about themselves, or define their worth and all that stuff. And so we were taught then that how we act, think, and feel um, needs to fit into what others want us to do. Um, and what happens, unfortunately, because of that, is the muscle that is in us, that was the natural muscle in us that helps us move forward, that helps us, which is that whole self definition, that self valuing of ourselves, doesn't really get worked well, and or at all. And so what happens then is we just can't help but devalue ourselves, because we believe we were actually born to be puppets, to be martyrs, to be just givers in life, to please other people, um, and not to please ourselves. And we can't, and the thing is, I've gone through this before, is that we can't, we really can't authentically please other people if we're not pleased ourselves, with life. Um, and so, yeah, when the whole thing of letting other people define us as opposed to us defining ourselves, or caring less about how we think about ourselves versus how others think. To be honest, it's kind of a BPD characteristic. you know um, we kind of become like our moms that way, because we've are well, again, defining, letting other people define us as opposed to us really defining ourselves, and really caring about what we think about ourselves first and foremost, and then letting all of our decisions, thoughts, feelings, actions come from there, and stuff. So yeah. So caring more about what others think about us as opposed to what we, gosh, I mean, that plays out in like all of our probably important, powerful relationships in our lives. Obviously it's our moms. It's can be our spouses or partners, our authority figures, especially if they remind you of mom. close friends and family, even society and our communities. Like, we can so often care more about what they think about us than what we think about us. And, and that's just, that really does hold us back from being us. I think that's why a lot of people end up getting sick. A lot of us end up getting, depressed, and things like that, is because of, we're not living authentically from ourselves, um, so how do you know you value others' opinions over your own? I think there's a few key ways that how, like, specific people in in your life actually, you're giving them more power and how you feel or think about yourself than, or act um, than you should. So, I think there's some key things. First is you obsess over the way they think or react to you. You know, a great example of this would be, when I first started in my business. I was so fortunate. I got, because I wasn't really sure what exactly I was doing. Um, and I was so fortunate. I got picked up by this company to be their vendor for my business. And so 75, no, it was really more like 85% of my income came from working with this one company, because they just had so much business to give me, and it was really overwhelming, and I really was just starting to figure out exactly what I was doing. So the whole thing was like a lot of work at first, and overwhelming. And so I really didn't have time to, like, spread out to other companies to really get more business. I really was just focused and dedicated to them and their long, ongoing, active requests and things that they needed and stuff. Anyway, so I was there for 2.5 years. It was awesome. I learned so much. They helped me in so many amazing ways, and it was an incredible experience. Then they got a new president. Ugh, the new presidents. So they got a new president, and she was really sweet and really nice and very controlling. Of course, she's the president. I mean, that's how presidents operate, and stuff. So, um, and she also didn't have a good grasp of what I was doing for the company. So she kind of reminded me of my mom. And so I was obsessed about pleasing her and helping her to feel good about what I was doing, and stuff like that. And so, yeah, so I obsessed over every time we talked and everything she said to me, and how did she feel, and was she feeling good and stuff like that. And oh, the stress was off the charts for me, because of course it was 85% of my business, and stuff. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, and so that's what I was trying to do is, you try to prove to them that you are worthy of their love. I mean, because I was still kind of new, but I was also incredibly insecure at the time and stuff like that. Like, I kept trying to prove my worth to her and to them, and I, did way beyond what I should have done for them for the price, and stuff like that. And I was really trying to connect with her and build that relationship with her. And if it really stressed me out that, like, if she said, I don't want to keep April in this business, then she would be ultimately saying, April doesn't have a good business. April doesn't have a business, and stuff like that. So yeah. Um, Another key of when someone has when you've given when you care more about their opinion than you care about your own, is when they disappoint you. When they are disappointed with you, you feel like you are not enough, and you seriously doubt yourself. And so when she started to get um, very inquisitive and critical of what I was doing, I really did struggle to believe maybe I'm really not good at this. Maybe this just really isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, and stuff like that. Like, I completely gave this one woman who didn't really actually have a full understanding of what I was doing, like, all this power. Oh, it was terrible. Um, and then you also don't think that your opinion matters as much about yourself as their opinion, and so ultimately you give the power away, and it's a miserable relationship. Um, and when you give your power away like that, the thing is that, people like that are very, tempted and able to take advantage of it. They, and that's really what she did. She, um, I really believe that she, manipulated me, by, saying, well, I'm going to hire someone to help out. And I'm like, sounds like you're just bringing this, what I'm doing in house. No. She's just gonna learn and she's just gonna manage you and stuff. And I'm like, okay. So then I sat down with the president and with this, you know, new person she hired, and I said, well, like, so this is what I do. This is all that I do. And this is, and I gave her the full thing, the whole spiel, and said, and this is what I'd love to do more. Like, I'd really like to take what I'm offering you to a better place, So I gave her this really cool picture. The new person was super impressed, and the president was like, well, we'll let and so I'm like, okay, well, gosh, I hope they think that I'm good enough. I hope they think that this is good enough, and, blah, blah, blah. So I'd given them like everything. And in turn, of course, you know what happened. They fired me, and the new person took over what I was offering. And the president boasted about how this new person had come up with such a better plan than I had. It's so junior high. you know, um, and stuff. And if I had cared more about my opinion about the situation than the president's, I probably wouldn't have ended up in that, in that place, and stuff like that. But that's okay. Live and learn and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So that's, so thinking about like who in our lives, do we care more about their opinions about us than we care about our opinions of ourselves, I think is a really important step. So yeah. So I'm going to talk in the next video about how to change that. So.